These are 7 platinum trophies I wish I never got. Whether it's because the game was terrible, the platinum experience was unenjoyable, or the game just straight up didn't work, these are the platinums I hated getting. Up first is Life is Strange, and not because the platinum was annoying or ridiculous to get, unlike others on this list, but because the game is oh so incredibly cringe. I hate that word, but my god, do I die inside thinking about that game. I know some of y'all will already be writing a comment with, "Oh my god, how can you hate on Life is Strange? It's my favorite game ever." And I know that there's people that love the series, of course, but to me it's going to be the most diabolical teenage girl drama thing ever. Thankfully, the trophies are super easy with just the story and simple collectibles, but that experience for me was tainted because I didn't realize what the game was about. It was unbearable to sit through all this high school drama with some stereotypical 18-year-old punk girl that wants to rebel against the world. I'll stop now because I'm just ranting about a game I personally didn't like and shouldn't have platinumed, but thankfully the next game didn't even have a story, but I hated every second of it for a whole nother reason, and that's Super Meat Boy. You may have seen me attempt this during my difficulty challenge, but bro, this game made me experience things I never want to again. Because after just a few hours in this game, I was already tweaking, and I would still have another 150 hours of excruciating stressful pain to go. It might be because I was playing this on a timer, but there wasn't a single moment I wanted to boot up the game and play it. It all just felt like I was wasting time whenever I died, and I just wasn't good enough. And whenever I think back at the game now, I genuinely look back with PTSD because I really hated getting the platinum. I will admit that it's always a nice flex to say that I now have the plat, but it was so frustratingly stressful to play that I regret every single hour I spent on that game. Next up is something that wasn't stressful at all, but just a slog to get through, and that was Rhyme. This game was so insanely boring. Straight up bro, this indie game just sucked. The gameplay is slow, the story is uninteresting, the puzzles are easy, and the art style wasn't pleasing my eyes. I really didn't like anything about it, and even though it's a very short and easy platinum, because the game felt so slow and boring, it made time go slower than usual, and I had to fight my inner demons to keep playing. Let me know if you liked it, but I only played it because it was a short platinum. However, it's now very clear that a short platinum does not equal a fun experience. Which was sort of the case for Ghostwire Tokyo as well. It's a much longer game, but this game always piqued my interest. It looked cool and takes place in Tokyo, of course, so I decided to try it out. It was actually pretty fun with some spooky, strange vibes until I finished the story and started working on the collectibles. Because if you didn't know, there are well over 2,000 collectibles you need to get. Yeah, you heard that right. It's easily one of the dumbest things I ever went through. It takes an ungodly amount of time to find them all. But the experience was soured even further when I couldn't get an RNG trophy. You need to pull a Daikyo from a Omikunji, but my luck was terrible and I spent hours trying to get this RNG trophy. And on top of that, the DLC released on the same day I got the plat, and I couldn't be bothered spending another second in that game. So I will now have to return to that game sometime in the future if I ever want to get the 100%. Thankfully, I already have the 100% and platinum in New Tales from the Borderlands, because words cannot describe how much I truly hate this game. The experience I had in this was borderline torture. Not only is the game and its story fucking awful, but the platinum experience is even worse. You have to sit through 8-minute cutscenes to make one dialogue choice and then repeat that process over and over again. In my case, for over 30 hours. For a game that shouldn't even take half of that time. Because there's a rating system that will give you certain endings you need for various trophies, and I just couldn't get the one I needed. If you've played through it, you know what I'm talking about. Because I lost count how many times I've played through it because I would always get the wrong ending. It made a terrible game an even worse platinum, and I'm telling you to stay as far away from this game as you can. It was horrible, and I truly hated every second of it. And I usually like to be really positive because I hate being negative about these platinums that I'm supposed to really enjoy. But sometimes you make mistakes that you have to suffer through. And that's what happened when I picked Everybody's Gone to the Rapture in my difficulty challenge. This is the definition of a walking sim. Seriously, look it up. Therefore, I really struggle to think how you can even call this a game. It's literally an interactive movie that's already a stretch. all you do is walk from point A to point B at a snail's pace. Like, holy guacamole, bro. This is what running looks like in this game. It is so slow. Bro, I crawl faster than that this guy can run. It made it so annoying to play through the 10 hours that you are walking around a static village fighting various collectibles. Nothing moves here either, so quite literally all that's moving is you. So unless you're looking for a game to fall asleep to, don't touch this. Now lastly is a game that actually doesn't have a platinum. I know, it's a 100% Xbox Steam achievement style game instead, but just hear me out, as this game was the biggest roller coaster of a game that I tried to complete easily ever. So let me tell you how that went. I started playing Spectre Divide on the day of launch, all excited about Shroud's game coming to the PS5, and I had fun for the most part. I popped a bunch of trophies early on for getting kills, using the Spectre, and even a 6-man ace. Because Spectre Divide is a tactical shooter built around the mechanic of duality, where you control 2 characters instead of the typical one, which is definitely a unique take. But after just 2 weeks, the studio announced they'd be shutting the game down within the next 30 days. Yeah, they just missed out on the Concord server speedrun, but my mind started racing and my trophy started worrying because now I'd need to pop these trophies before they become unobtainable. The game has a system called crews, a randomly generated group of 60 players that are randomly placed together. And you can play games and earn points to see yourself and your crew rise the leaderboards. And I had 3 trophies left tied to this sloppy system. Now the game wasn't particularly great to play either. I didn't enjoy the gunplay, the movement felt slow, and I just couldn't understand some of these deaths. It always felt like the game was working against me, and unlike other tactical shooters, it was incredibly frustrating to play. The game just felt bad, and the game was now basically dead already, so I was the only one in my crew grinding, meaning I could easily get the number 1 spot, but never promote or win a game with others. So I grinded to the top and then messaged all 59 of my other crewmates individually begging for their help. Miraculously, 2 other lovely people agreed to join and I won the game.
Let's fucking go. I love you guys.
But we also still needed to get promoted by being in the top 4 with our crew. And I was really stressing now because they could take the servers offline any second and leave me with more unobtainable trophies. The thing is, we couldn't join our friends' crew or others' crew in general, which is how it was supposed to work. And before they could fix this bug, the studio was already shut down. So since the leaderboards reset once a week and that's the only time you'll be able to unlock the trophy, this was a one-shot, one opportunity type shit before they take down the servers. But then out of nowhere, my friend Epic Piss found a workaround exploit over on PSN profiles that popped the trophy, which was a huge relief.
You just found this out yourself. Oh my god, it did pop! What the fuck?
So all I needed now was the number 1 spot in my crew to get the 100%. However, suddenly someone else was grinding for that top spot. It was a guy that I agreed to help boost earlier for the crew trophy. So I asked him what he was doing, but he claimed he wouldn't take the number 1 spot off me and he would go for it the week after me. Which was super nice and I respected that a lot, yet 12 hours before the leaderboards closed, I checked and saw the cheeky bugger had overtaken me, which further verified my hatred towards boosting with randoms. I felt very betrayed and started grinding all night before realizing I wouldn't catch up to him, simply because the crew system in place doesn't award any more points after playing too many games. The whole crew thing was a shambles and the game itself, I mean, that was a struggle to enjoy to say the least, bro. Oh my god, that game was ass. And I was preparing myself to play a whole nother week praying to the trophy gods that the servers wouldn't go offline. So I logged off the game and came back the next day hoping for a miracle.
Yes! Oh my god, it did pop. Oh my fucking god. Oh my days, bro. Oh my days, bro.
The game might have been so buggy that it rewarded me with the number 1 spot anyway, and I don't even care how, but that's the craziest and rarest 100% on my trophy list. So if you want to see what other platinums are really rare, then you should check out this video. And that's it. See ya.